I'm Ryan Walters, that other podcast host that you hate the most, and you're listening to the Hidden Oaks Overdose Football Fix.
It is Tuesday, October 10th, 2023, 7:38 p.m. sharp. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Hidden Oaks Overdose Football Fix podcast number 155. I am one of your lovely hosts, the Garlic Johnson. We are joined, as always, by your other lovely hosts, the Joshua Mitchell. Josh, say hi to the folks out there.
How, folks.
We appreciate everyone who interacts in the Discord. Josh, you were posting some advanced stats today. I felt like I was watching Prime Vision on a Thursday night. Appreciate you with the Fantasy Genius moving along. We put the description start times down in we put the segment start times down in the description below for the people who like to listen. So if you want to skip around and only hear a certain segment, we appreciate you no matter what. So go ahead and skip around if you so please. And thank you at Levi Oki Illustration from Josh and I and the entire Hidden Oaks family for always being our sole provider of the most beautiful art the podcast space has ever seen. We have better art than anyone, dude. Better than The Land, better than the Victorious POD, better than, Pat McAfee Show, better than Pardon My Take. I mean, we have the best art in the business, Josh, and that's all thanks to at Levi Oki Illustration on Instagram. Josh, how are we doing this beautiful Tuesday Eve?
Well, I'm happy you mentioned the Fantasy Genius and advanced stats. I don't know how advanced some of them are. I don't know if you actually read the weekly report for our league.
It was too fucking long, dude. I couldn't.
It is worth it because I am going to read some of it, just to get the people going on why they should probably subscribe to it. It's free. I hope it is because I get it.
Your credit card just got charged.
On the more pathetic side of things, Broncos country took another embarrassing loss to future Hall of Famer Zach Wilson and the Jets as the Panthers are quietly turning into a perfectly imperfect season so far, falling to the Lions to get to 0-5. But the biggest news of the week didn't come from the gridiron after all. As usual, the biggest movers in the fantasy football landscape came from, you guessed it, Applebee's. In a long-awaited move, Bees has announced via some really subtle commercials that the Dollarita is back. The best thing you could do for your league is to call the GM at your local Bees, see if they're willing to reconsider their lifetime ban on your league mate Greg, and try to snag reservations for next Sunday. It's the best margarita George Washington could buy. So be an American and secure your table today.
That's pretty good, honestly.
And it's a lot of just jokes like that. And so player awards, well, the MVP of our hearts for this week is whichever Applebee's executive decided to bring back the Dollarita. We remain committed to designate an MVP who actually plays football. So yeah, it was a good time. Good time.
Nice. Have you been reading this yourself for the last couple of weeks? You just wanted to share with the group tonight, or is this like a new discovery just this week?
I've been getting them each week, but per usual, I usually just swipe left, I guess, and that's kind of how you just discard emails. So sure. Yeah, that's what I've been doing. But this time I accidentally didn't swipe. I accidentally clicked, and
no.
Then I read it. Yeah.
Excellent.
But yeah. So yeah, how are you doing, Gar?
Josh, I'm doing all right. I don't know. I just can't. You sometimes you just get in a funk, and you're just in that funk for a while. And I've been in a funk for a while, but we'll figure things out eventually. I don't know. Get out of bed every morning still. I think I've said that a couple times now, but until I stop getting out of bed or until I start retreating from the activities I regularly participate in, I know I'll do them all right. So we'll figure things out. But with that, Josh, is your rhyming wrap up ready? I know you were a little behind this evening. No big deal from my end. I used to be quite the. I used to think I was quite the general, quite the hard ass, trying to have the show's got to start on time. I care way less these days. Well, you were running a little bit behind today. No big deal. But does that mean you're ready, or do you need me to vamp just a little bit longer? Because I can go into a tangent if I want. We could solve the Israeli-Palestine conflict right now, Josh. It is very topical, and I could get into it for a good 10 minutes if you need me to.
Nope. I do have a life question for you, but I don't think I'm going to ask it now. I think it's going to be something that we do during the Fire in Your Gut segment.
Okay.
Because it kind of gets some fire in my gut off, not related to football.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm ready. As you said, this isn't going to be my best work. Like I said, I started writing this bad boy at like 6:45-ish. So yeah, I don't even know half the teams that played this week. But yeah.
You don't know half the teams that played? You somehow forgotten about some of the 32 teams that are in the NFL and not half.
Well, I just didn't remember what happened in the matchups.
Ah, I see. All right. Well, whenever you're ready, Josh, take the floor.
hang on, I gotta get in the mood. Light a candle here.
Ooh, baby. Is it a Yankee Candle or is it Serenity by Jan? Jan?
No, it's
You burn it, you buy it?
cardboard box filled with wood chips.
Okay.
All right. Every year our show is open to change. Various bits have broadened our range. Each one will fade when it becomes time. Now we fade teams, but do it in rhyme. In case you missed it on Thursday's Battle of Trash, Fields looked all right against the commies' car crash. The London game shocked many as Jags beat the Bills. Houston lost to Atlanta in a battle of no skills. Eric's team beat the Ravens in typical Steelers way. Bengals killed the Cardinals and finally showed up to play. Everyone thought the Giants would lose to the Dolphins by more. Anthony Richardson got hurt, but Minshew beat Tennessee by a score. Really, Patriots? You lost to the Saints and scored a total of 0. Salah is laughing as Jets beat the Broncos and make Hackett a hero. Winning against the Rams keeps the Eagles team with no losses. In Minnesota, the Chiefs show up and prove to be bosses. Next on the list, the Niners keep winning while killing Dallas's dream. The host of the show watched as the Raiders beat his favorite team. Have no fear because he hopes to get the last giggle. Each line of this rhyme has a purpose if you give them a wiggle. You just need to read the first letter of each line. Some of you need help, and I guess that's fine. The first word is often when two sides are the same. It would result in a tie if the scores were the same. Now the rest is part of a question or plea. Some might ask or even think. You know what? I give up. It says even if the Bears win, they stink.
Oh, Josh, that was beautiful. I wish I had Oh, sorry, go ahead.
If you do read the document, it does say that in the first letter of each line. It's even if the Bears win, they stink.
Nice. I mean, I appreciate that. That's a good bit. I enjoy that. I think you need to end with like a fin, or you need to cue me to hit like a sounder. I think it needs to end with just a little bit of zest. But it's not my segment.
Every week is going to end with the Bears stink.
You know what? That's okay. If that's how you want to end it, I just want you to be happy with it. Just giving a little feedback. I think I could use a little bit of zest, but also half the time I just don't know when you're done. So I'm just like, do I interrupt now? Do I start saying stuff? So
yeah, maybe one of these days. Probably not, because like I said, it took me 40 minutes to come up with that. Maybe I'll just write like a 12-page document and just keep rhyming.
that could, we do 30 minutes on Tuesdays, Josh. If you want to make that the whole 30 minutes, I'm down. Beautiful little spoken word evening. Rhyme the whole fucking show. That'd be a bit, huh? Almost as good as doing your show backwards. All right, Josh.
Well, I said backwards during our show.
We appreciate the rhyming wrap-up as always. Are you ready to discuss some fire that has been in your gut? It sounds like you had something up your sleeve for me.
Yeah. But as you know, you can get going because this is your bit to intro.
All right. Well, I'm not going to play the whole motivational speech every time because I don't want people to leave our show. I think John Gannon is so motivational that some people, they get fired up hearing the little speech and they actually stop listening to the show and go be productive with their life for a bit. So I'm not going to play it this week. I just played it last week, but we'll just give the two small sounders that really bring the whole thing together and where the namesake comes from.
You have fire in your gut? Better light the fire pretty fast.
If you don't have that fire in your gut, Josh, which you should, you better light that fire pretty fast. And oh my God, I'm on the wrong page on this thing, so give me 3 more seconds. There we go. The fire in my gut this week, Josh, I will go ahead and start us. I am on fire. And I'm pretty sure I've already done them for one of the segments this year, but I am still on fire for the greatest show on surf, the Miami Dolphins. We've got Mike McDaniels, Tyreek Hill, Devon Achane, Raheem Mostert, Jeff Wilson's coming back, Jalen Waddle's not bad. I mean, they're just an exciting brand of football. I know they're not undefeated. They lost to the Bills, and almost no team goes undefeated, so teams lose from time to time. Doesn't mean you're bad necessarily, but they just play the most exciting brand of football. They're the fastest team in the league. Mike McDaniels has the best press conferences, the most memeiest coach. I mean, I just fucking love that guy, and so I will again give him the credit. He gives me fire in my gut. But as we know, Josh, fire in your gut isn't always a positive thing. We've eaten plenty of Chipotle and Taco Bell over the days. We've had some of these. And I also get fire in my gut, Josh, and I get some bad fire in my gut from just seeing people lose people. We're going real for a second here. It hits the hood. This is the Hidden Oaks Overdose. Josh, I'm not sure if you would have heard. I'm not sure how impacted you would be. I don't know what your personal relationship was like with this person. But I always called her Doug. I generally don't even remember her real name. It might be Don or something like that. I know Sharon also had a friend named Donna. But Sharon's mom just passed away. And so, daycare lady classic. She was always around when I was a kid, and I really enjoyed her company, and it was a home away from home going to Sharon's daycare, and so I have to watch my friends and my loved ones struggle with that, and then my dad's about to lose his sister, so I mean it's just you feel really bad yourself when people are losing people, so that gives me a lot of negative fire in my gut. Josh, what about you?
Well, that's depressing. Why'd you bring that up?
You gotta be real sometimes, Josh.
Yeah, well, yeah, so I guess going back to, we'll start with the football negative fire in my gut. We're going to go with the guy that you just praised, Mike McDaniel.
Whoa!
So, I know he's got all these meme coach things, his meme speak, but when you own Devon Achane and you see his headline and he's just up there joking about this man's injury, I didn't know that Achane's leg actually fell off. He's going to miss some time now. That's my running back.
You tearing up right now at the stand?
Yeah. I mean, that's not really, yeah, it stinks because, they said it on the Pat McAfee show today or yesterday. I don't even remember, but it was like, yeah, it was today because they're talking about the Packers game too. But they asked the beat reporter for Miami, do we even know what's going on with Achane? Because the press conference didn't give us a whole lot. And the guy's like, yeah, I've been covering Mike McDaniel for a year. And that's just kind of how he is. He's either he's going to just say things and you don't know whether or not it's worse than it is or better than it is. He doesn't seem too worried about it, but I'm probably, I don't know. I can't tell you. And so I was like, well, you know what? I know it's only Tuesday, but I really like to set my lineups and then reset them again. And I just can't do my first set without knowing Achane.
I mean, you could just assume he's hurt and put him on the bench and just...
He is.
Well, you could just operate with that then. I don't know why you can't. Are you being dramatic, Josh?
But, yes, I am. Another thing, Gar, this is a non-football related. It's not even a fire in your gut so much as it grinds your gears. And this is actually going to... it's not a potential friendship.
Hold on. I think I have the perfect sounder. You let me know.
Got sick to my tummy, puked, pooped, jerked off, and now I'm here with you, bros.
Is that the right sounder for right now?
No, but it was still a good sounder. I appreciated it.
Okay.
Always a big fan of Rafi. No, it's a grind my gears, and I'm not going to say it's a friendship ender, depending on how you answer this question, because
here we go.
Nikita has a different answer than me, and we're still married on paper, and so
married on paper.
We're married in real life too, but and so when you load the dishwasher, Gar, do you load the silverware pointy down, like the bulk piece down, or up?
I've definitely done it both ways. So at my dad's house, he has just like a bunch of open squares, and so I think I would normally put the pointy stuff down, especially knives, because you don't want to be accidentally going in there and grabbing the point of the knife. But at my apartment, when I lived on my own in DL for 3 years, it didn't have like just big open squares that you'd put a lot of silverware into one. It had a bunch of individual slots, and so in that scenario, it was only big enough for the stem to go in. Like you couldn't put the spoon or fork face down; you'd have to do it face up. And so in that scenario, I did it face up because that's really the only way it worked. So I guess I've done it both ways. I'm bi-directional.
The Nazis that designed that dishwasher need to reevaluate their life, because pointy side down is the only way to do it. This morning when I went in there to go grab a kniffy to put some peanut butter on my English muff, I go in there and the spoke of a fork goes underneath my fingernail. And
that sounds like you were being careless, Josh.
It was 7:00 in the morning, 7:15 in the morning. I still had sleepies in my eye, and let's just say I'd be on the IR if I was in the NFL.
No, you'd have turf finger, spork finger.
Yep. Yep. I'm less aerodynamic because of the hole in my hand right now.
All right, this sounder might be really bad, but I just into my little soundbar thing, I just Googled or I didn't Google, but I searched grinds my gears, and this is the only sounder that came up. So this is awful. I'm sorry, but I have to play it now.
Real life Peter Griffin here. You don't really grind my gears. Fortnite.
Oh, okay, that wasn't that bad. Anyway, sorry. Continue.
Yep, but no, that was kind of my grind my gears. It's pointies bulk down. Unless you have a Nazi designed dishwasher like
see,
you.
I think it gets cleaner when it's point up. I think I liked one at my apartment better because they were all separated equally. You didn't have to worry about forks or spoons stacking on top of each other, so they wouldn't get packed together by the grime and the gunk, and then for sure they'd get clean. So I think I liked the individual slots better.
That's just the wrong answer.
All right, Josh, if we're gonna go down this road, let's go to the bathroom for a second, okay? Do you hang your toilet paper roll over or under?
Who has time to hang the toilet paper roll? They're only good for one or two uses.
Jesus Christ. Is that you dodging the question, Josh? Is you're on the wrong side of history with your toilet paper or what?
I mean, it's obviously over.
Okay. All right, you win. All right, what about this one? Do you wipe standing or sitting?
What's that?
You don't wipe. Do you have a bidet? I'd like to get a bidet someday.
Yeah.
All right, Josh.
I'm a stander.
Okay. All right. History will judge you. No, I'm obviously a stander as well, based on my stature. Are we ready, Josh? Do you have your own? Bit for a brand new Walter's favorite segment? I'm trash, or do I have to do all three today? I did two because you were behind, but if I need to do one more, I can. But do you have one or no?
I have one. Yeah, I'll be able to do one.
All right, I'll start. We don't have an intro sounder. Maybe I could work on one, but we'll just go right into it. This is our second time doing the segment. I'm trash. It starts like this. Hey, Forky. What do you do? What do you say to yourself when you're looking at your fantasy lineup, realizing you just lost Justin Jefferson and Devon Achane for at least 4 weeks each?
I'm trash.
Hey, Forky. What did Jordan Love tell Mac Jones and Zach Wilson?
Trash?
Porky, what do you think to yourself when you're watching Aaron Rodgers, a man who he's on the IR, he's out for probably the season, and he's sitting there on Pat McAfee's show, still hating on vaccines all this time later, like fucking let it go, my guy. Vaccines have saved hundreds of thousands, if not millions of lives. What do you say when you see Rodgers doing that shit on ESPN of all places?
You're just like me. Trash.
Thanks, Forky. All right, Josh, let's get into the weekly recap, shall we?
Yeah. Oh, shoot. Yeah, so I thought we did that on... I haven't done that yet. I'm going to have to Zoom.
All right, Josh. Well, I'll give the people my grain of salt. I went 8-2 this week in my quote-unquote head-to-head matchups. That does include two median games. So 8-2, including median game. So, 80% winning percentage on the week. I am 36-14 straight up. As all the fantasy apps would read it, that's a 72% winning percentage. Using the intellectual property of Joshua Allen Bunker Incorporated, though, the picture grows gloomier by the week. I started the season strong. My best week was actually week 3, but now I'm starting on the downtrend. The numbers still look impressive because I had a good start, but we were trending down. If I were to play 204, which is only good enough for a 64.2 or 64.3 winning percentage. And the or 62.25, 61.5, 78% in week 3, and then the last 2 weeks were 57 and 59. So I am on the downswing, Josh. I know it's 8-2 is the surface score, but I got lucky in multiple wins where I would have only beat 1, 2, or 3 other teams in the league. So there's a little bit of luck there. But we are trending down, and losing JJ and Achane in multiple leagues is certainly not going to help my cause at this way long ago. How do you feel you did in fantasy this week? What does your gut tell you?
Well, I do have my overalls. I don't have my intellectual property of Joshua Allen Bunker Incorporated done for all of them. But for the overalls, I had I guess, against the median or without the median, with the median. Oh, wait, nope. Yeah, 3 and 3. Nope. Yep. 3 and 3. With the median 4 and 5. So I lost against the median against Victoria's Secret again. And then the champs branch out, I lost against the median. And then I lost in the champs branch out, lost in Butt Sweat Dynasty and the Hidden Oaks Dynasty because I stink.
Excellent. One little weekly recap thing that is not on the note sheet, Josh. I'll just take over for 1 second here. I've been really sloughing on side bets. Thankfully, no one has called me out for it. I know, Josh, you put together 1 or 2 of the side bet reconciliations as well. Didn't even change it to list at all from last year. I figured I didn't want to get called out for potentially skewing it in my favor in the first week because I didn't really even think about it until after the first week. But I'm just using the exact same list as last year, all 14 in the same exact order. And I've been slacking on communicating that to the league, so for the 3 other people from the league that listen, I apologize, but I'll send out a text tomorrow with a 5-weekend update. Jeremy's won 1, T's won 1 somehow, fucking Eric has won 2, that bastard, and then Willie won this most recent week. It happened to be the Immaculate Reception week, so a starting wide receiver with the most receptions, and of course, as we all know, Jamar Chase went off. He had 15 receptions. That motherfucker is always open. And so all of you will be getting $5 per side bet. So Eric, you'll be getting 10, you lucky bastard. And week 6's side bet is Crazy Eights. That'll go to the team with the most number of 8s and starting player scores and team points, including decimals. So that's that, Josh. Moving on to the FanDuel top 3. I fucking won the thing this week. I took home 155.76 points in the Week 5 contest. Levi Oakey making a resurgence. He had 136.82, and Bradley 134.04 was in third. Looking at the top 3 leaderboard, not everyone, but plenty of people have 5 games in now, so we'll see how these leaderboards continue to change now that people have their base 5 scores, because we're doing top 5 scores for the money this year. Vikes Numberman, aka Druzer, he's in the first place with 600.42. Literally right on his heels is Levi Oakey at 600.28, so just 14 hundredths away, if my math is correct. And then Josh, don't blink too fast, Jay Mitchell, 593.62, so you're within 7 points of first place, Josh. How do you not fuck it up the rest of the way?
Well, as long as I don't score less than the 80 points I put up this past week, it'll only be going up.
All right. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how these numbers continue to change. Because do some people, do the people in first right now, do they have just a bunch of medium scores, like a bunch of 120s? Is that good enough? I know I've put up 155 twice, but then I've put up some 60s and some 70s as well. So if I can just bring my floor up, I think I've got a chance at this thing this year. It's hard to break into those significantly higher scores, so I'm hoping I've got a shot at some money this year. Haven't taken $1 from the FanDuel yet in the, 4 or 5 years we've done it, but I'm hoping I've got a shot this year. Anything else?
Yeah, I'm looking at it, and it looks like you have 2 150 games, so...
Ladies, I am in 4th place, but we don't report top 4, so I wasn't trying to be greedy about it, but... anything else you want to recap from the week, Josh, or do you want to get into my favorite segment, the HAWG Market?
Yeah, we can, yeah.
All right, here we go.
Bacon? You don't put bacon in your body. Why not? The worst thing you could put in your body.
I love HAWG.
It's fried fat.
I eat everything on the pig except the squeal. Oink.
That was the opening bell, Josh, and we are here at the HAWG Market to buy or sell some of the NFL's finest or not so finest hogs. We will determine if Josh wants to eat everything on the pig except the squeal, or if the offerings at the market are fried fat. Josh, we will start this week in Arizona. Arizona rookie receiver Michael Wilson. He is currently wide receiver number 38. The theme for this week was players that performed worse in week 5 than normal. Last week or 2 weeks ago, I went with the theme of the players who are all the top performers and whether you want to sell high or buy still high. This week we're going for, do you want to sell low and cut ties, or do you want to buy low on a down week or a downtrend? So Michael Wilson, rookie receiver, wide receiver number 38. He has put up less than 10 points in every week but one. His best week was week 4, but he was down to just 2.3 points this last week. It's a player probably not a lot of people know about unless you're really tuned into the fantasy community or you love it, the Arizona Cardinals for some reason. Josh, would you buy or sell Michael Wilson?
Sell.
Do you have any elaboration?
I played him in FanDuel this past week, and he stunk, so I'm never buying him again.
All right, well, there you have it. Rookie, does your answer change in Dynasty at all? So I know we generally look at this through the redraft lens. Do you think he's a good stash, or do you think that Arizona Cardinals organization is in so much turmoil no one's reliable for the next couple of years?
Good stash in Dynasty.
Oh, he did not want to say that, folks. I clawed it out of him. All right, Josh, we'll move on to Tony Pollard. He had all the running back for the Dallas Cowboys. He had all the hype coming out of the offseason. Ezekiel Elliott was gone. This was now Pollard's team. I even have, my name in the Champs Branch Out League is the Pollard Express. I was ready for this guy to take me to the promised land. He's currently running back 14, but his stonk is only going down. In week 1, he put up 21 points, then 16, then 13, then 7, then 6. So he has only gone down all 5 weeks, Josh. Do you think Tony Pollard will turn it around, or do you think it is time to sell low on Tony Pollard and get whatever you can because this guy stinks?
I think he's going to turn it around simply because the games that they've played, they've either been way ahead that he doesn't need to play or way behind, aka Sunday night, that he's
brutal.
not in that game plan. So, it's I think that, his usage is going to even out. He's still, their RB1. So I say buy.
All right.
I eat everything on the pig except the squeal.
We'll move on, Josh, to a very similar running back in the leader, or in the scoring leaders for the season. He is running back number 16. This is James Cook of the Buffalo Bills. In week 1, he put up 8.3 points, and then 17.9, pretty respectable, 12.2, 14.2. But then this most recent week, the Buffalo Bills losing in London, he put up just 3.6 points. He looks a little bit less reliable. I believe their schedule gets more difficult. Don't quote me on that, but one of these players had a very difficult schedule coming up. I don't remember who it was. I thought it was James Cook, but I saw a lot of red. When you look at sleeper on the game log, you can see what the upcoming defenses. So I thought James Cook saw a lot of red upcoming. But either way, how do we feel about James Cook? He's been inconsistent to say the least. It's 3 good performances. Don't get me wrong. He's probably drafted round 5, round 6, or worse in most leagues. Maybe round 4. How do you feel about James Cook? Fried fat, or are you eating everything but the squeal?
Fried fat.
Oh, no. Why is that, Josh?
Fried fat. No, I don't know. Just that offense is, RB1 is Josh Allen. And when the games get colder, that little guy's little frame it's not going to hold up. He's going to get ouchies. He's just one of those question mark players. Like, I think that it's too early to tell, even though it is week 5 and I think he's their starting running back, but he's just kind of been all over the place.
Sure, I do know that Damian Harris and Latavius Murray, while they don't get nearly as many touches, I do know that they vulture some touches as well. And it's interesting because a couple of weeks ago, before Josh Jacobs turned back around, I almost traded up in the Champs League. I almost traded Glick, Josh Jacobs for James Cook straight up, but he wanted to involve Chris Godwin and DeAndre Hopkins for some reason, so that turned me away. But I almost bought James Cook. I'm glad I didn't, because I thought Josh Jacobs would turn it around, and he has. But going back to James Cook, Josh, you have determined that he is...
It's fried fat.
Moving on, Josh, to wide receiver number 63 on the season so far. He's a wide receiver for the Denver Broncos. We're talking about the JJ, Jerry Jeudy. He missed week 1, as most people know, but then he put up 4 points, 10.6 points, 6.7 points, and 8 points, so only hit double digits once. A lot of question marks for that Broncos team. Sean Payton, who knows what's going to happen there, but do you think a team that this bad and has to pass so much, there's still plenty of opportunity for Jerry Jeudy, or do you think it's time to get out while you can?
Get out.
Oh, a lot of fried fat this week. Okay.
It's fried fat.
Yeah, no, Jerry Jeudy, I sold him a couple years ago in the Dynasty League. So I got out on Jerry Jeudy pretty early. I think I watched one game and he dropped 2 passes and I was like, yep, I'm out. So Granted, yes, they're going to have to throw the ball more, but Russ is, as fantasy status goes, I think he's still around the 10 range, top 10 range, but it's like the garbage time points. And at what point do they just not try? They're terrible.
Yeah, it is interesting because Russell Wilson, I believe, remains a top 10 QB, maybe even 9 or 8. But at the end, some of that is in garbage time. Sure, it is interesting that doesn't translate to Jerry Jeudy specifically. I don't believe much is going to Sutton either. So who knows where those points are going? But maybe it is going to Sutton, and I'm just ignorant. I don't know. But we'll move on, Josh, to tight end number 27. Certainly in dynasty drafts during the spring and the summer, this man was going as the first tight end off the rookie draft board. We were, of course, talking about the Buffalo Bill, Dalton Kincaid. He has had a lackluster season so far. People, for redraft leagues, people aren't nearly as high on rookie tight ends as they are in dynasty. And so, Sam Laporta, Dalton Kincaid were probably a couple of the only tight ends taken in normal drafts. But Dalton Kincaid, there's big talk that he's going to basically be a slot receiver. And it seems like Dawson Knox is currently still outperforming him. Dalton Kincaid has not hit double digits once this year. Do you think there's still potential to buy Dalton Kincaid, or are you similarly selling another Buffalo Bill?
I would buy him. His price is going to be cheap, so I would buy him just because he's starting to get in there a little bit more, it seems. And as the season goes on, you don't expect a whole lot from a tight end in fantasy, especially rookie tight ends. They just, unless their name is Travis Kelce, they're not going to produce a whole lot. They may have a couple good games here and there, but for a tight end, if his floor is 5, and I guess this is PPR, so that's trash. But I would buy him just as like a flyer. Bye weeks are coming up.
All right.
I eat everything on the pig except the squeal.
I know, Josh, I've already kept you a couple minutes past, and we'll get you out of here. So we'll make this one a lightning round. I'm just going to go through, obviously, JJ. I don't think the move's official yet because I can't put him on the IR in some of my dynasty leagues. So I don't think the Vikings have made the move yet, but they've announced that JJ, or at least it came out of Tom Pelissero, that he's going to the IR. Anyways, there leaves a lot of potential receptions out there for Vikings pass catchers. And so I'm going to go ahead and give you rapid fire all the people I can think of off the top of my head, and you tell me whether they are buys or sells. Okay, no elaboration this time, just quick buy or sell. We will start with Jordan. He's probably not available in most leagues because he's on teams, but Jordan Addison.
Buy.
I eat everything on the pig except the squeal.
I'm not going to play the sounder every time. All right, TJ Hawkinson.
Buy.
Brandon Powell.
Sell. No, buy. Sorry.
Josh Oliver.
Sell.
Alexander Madison.
Sold.
Cam Akers.
Buy.
N'Keal Harry.
That's a trick. He's not even on the team anymore.
Oh, I'm pretty sure he was elevated on the practice squad just this last week. But anyways, assuming he is on the team.
Sell.
Okay. All right, Josh, we appreciate your input, and we will go ahead and...
Whoa, didn't you forget someone?
Oh, did I? Maybe. Sorry.
I didn't hear Osborne.
Oh, I absolutely did forget someone. Josh, the market is closed, but I'll give you the opportunity to buy or sell this one player. KJ Osborne.
Sell.
Thanks. The HAWG Market is closed for this week. As always, if you'd like to give us your input, we broadcast on Tuesday at 7:30 p.m., roughly 7:30 p.m.-ish. Life happens. But, Josh, is there anything else you'd like to talk about on this beautiful Tuesday before we get out of here? Again, we have the opportunity to really dive in deep and discuss the Israel-Palestine conflict that's been popping off. It's been going on for about 100 years now, 75 years now. Do you want to hop into it? It's been very topical over the weekend.
Nah.
Are you sure?
Yep.
All right. Hit your fucking Go Packers so we can leave.
Go Packers. So, Guard, do you feel comfortable with this as your starting wide receiver group in Champions League? Kadarius Toney, Calvin Ridley, Christian Kirk?
Calvin Ridley started hot, but hasn't he been trending down as well? Or no, he had just had a good week 5, didn't he?
Yeah, he's currently wide receiver 19.
Yeah. I don't know that I'd ever be enthusiastic about starting Christian Kirk and Calvin Ridley, 2 receivers on a questionable Jaguars team.
Yeah, and then losing JJ really kind of opens up that third wide receiver slot because...
Who's on your bench?
Right now, I have 3 rookie Packers on my bench who are on a bye.
you're gonna have to drop one, Josh.
I did not realize that was the case until I looked at yesterday before the game. I was like, oh, shoot.
You fucking goofball.
Jerome Ford.
He's not a wide receiver.
Yeah, I know. I don't have any wide receivers on my bench.
You're gonna have to get a couple, I think. Might be time to drop some Packers.
They're my rookies, though.
Well, you can't start them this week on a bye anyways.
I guess.
All right, Josh. So anyways, the deal with Israel and Palestine, right? Okay.
Yep.
Oh, you're just supposed to leave. It was supposed to be a funny bit.
Go Packers.
Oh, shit. Careful when you read the news, kids. It's not as simple as they make it appear. Love you, and bye-bye. Give me a little flavor. Give me a little something.
Something flavor of the week. Beep, beep, beep.
Thank you, Culvers.